Association with Main Events and Showtime Championship Boxing, as sponsored by Fight Time 2001 and Promote Classic. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. The president is Hiawatha Knight Supervisor in Attendance, Benedetto Montella. This is along with the British Boxing Board of Control. The chairman and steward in charge is Lord Brooks of Tremorfa. Introducing to you our three judges scoring the bout from ringside. From New York, George Colon. From Wolverhampton, England, John Coyle. From Naples, Italy, Vittorio Urso. And introducing to you our referee in charge of the action from Kent, England, Roy Francis. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing silver trunks with black trim, fighting out of Sheffield by way of Bradford, England. He weighed in at a ready 9 stone, 13 1/4 pounds, or 139 1/4 U.S. pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 15 wins, no losses, 2 draws, with 4 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated challenger, introducing Junior Witter. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, ready to fight on my right, out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with red and white trim, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York in the United States. His weight 9 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, or 139 3/4 U.S. pounds. He also is undefeated in his campaign with 22 wins, no losses, 1 no contest, with 17 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Zab Super Judah. Once again, our referee in charge, Roy Francis, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of championship boxing schedule.
Stand back to exactly what I mean. You got it? Right, shake hands. Shake hands.
Things getting out of hand early as Junior Witter does a backflip during Jimmy Lennon's introductions, practically into the face of Zab Judah. And then Judah just shoved Witter back. Judah, a sharp southpaw with heavy hands, exceptional speed, swarming type fighter, seems to be getting stronger with each fight, and unlike most slick boxers, very aggressive. 9 first-round knockouts, 2 of his last 3. Witter, as you can tell, very confident, but technically not fancy and awkward. Described by Judah as Prince Nassim with no power.
Well, that's an interesting comment, because Nassim very hard to hit cleanly. We're going to find out if he has that kind of elusiveness, but no power, that's not a good thing. You're going to need to get Zab Judah's respect.
Judah said at first he thought that Witter was a nice kid. He felt bad at first, saying how easy this fight would be. Now, after meeting Witter in person, he doesn't feel so bad anymore. He thinks he's just a boastful, egotistical kid.
You know, and Witter said there's a whole gym full of Zab Judahs. Boy, I'd like to go to that gym.
That's right. With a contract. Judah here to showcase his talents on this grand stage. Clearly the biggest of his career, a dream, as he told us, to be the co-feature underneath Mike Tyson. Judah not only unbeaten, but hasn't really lost that many rounds in his career.
He said he wanted to come right out, keep the pressure on Witter, not give him room to run around and play and do the antics. Right now throwing a great straight left hand to the body to try and slow down the movement of Witter.
Judah is so confident, Bobby. He offered a winner-take-all deal to keep his interest.
You know, that's something that most fighters are never going to do. I offered it a few times myself, and 2 of the 3 times I would have won, but one time I would have to give away the purse.
A little risky. But I don't think it's too risky here. Judah said he's going to have to keep the pressure on, that Witter will run. There'll be an early exchange. He'll get out quick so he can let Mike do his thing. Mike Tyson trying to be courteous to his buddy from Brooklyn.
Well, he's come out very purposeful, but not too over anxious. He's boxing smart, a little slower than normal, but he seems to be sitting on his punches a little better than normal as well.
And he learned from his last fight to calm down, be composed, relax, concentrate, don't be overconfident. He was floored by a right hook in the second round by Jan Bergman. Came back to knock Bergman out of the fourth. So fancy work here by Junior Witter, who does like to switch, as you can see.
Yeah, and he switches literally from second to second. He just switches his feet, switches his hands. Seems to be very comfortable from both sides.
I asked him, why does he switch so much? Is it to confuse your opponent? He said, no, it just feels natural. He said he has no problems dealing with southpaws, which Judah is, and no predominant punch to describe his best weapon, but he said he favors the straight left and right hook. But a guy who relies on smarts and boxing ability.
Well, the phrase I like to use, effective in their awkwardness, this is the type of guy. And even Zab Judah himself is sitting down, relaxing, not getting carried away, because some guys are so awkward, are hard to be effective against.
And he continues to be in the disfavor of referee Roy Francis, especially after those shenanigans before the fight began. Francis, who refereed the Tyson-Julius Francis fight back in January.
Listen. You know what? Huh?
He's running.
I know, it's okay. We know he's gonna run though. We knew that.
You fight, that's all.
We knew he's gonna run. You looking good, baby. So, this is your key, right there. Touch him, feint. But start putting the feints with it. Wait to it, feint. Wait there, feint. Stay in the body, go to the head. Stay in the body, go to the head. A lot of times, when you see him try to throw the left, the hook left.
Lead to your body, and then shoot more. Got it? All right? All right? And don't forget, you've got plenty of what? You've got plenty of power, and you've got plenty of time. You understand? You just do it, just take, when he comes in. But when he comes in, you frustrate him, and just when he gets into it, then turn his head. You got it, Junior? Turn his head. Don't let him come into you.
Brendan Engel of Prince Nassim Hamed fame in the past, in the face of Junior Witter, Yoel Judah, and the venerable Lou Duva in the corner of Zab Judah. Lou told me he wanted to wear a kilt for the occasion here in Scotland, but they couldn't find one big enough.
That would be Lou Duva.
Round 2 scheduled for 12 with the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship at stake.
So when a fighter leans so awkwardly, as does Junior Witter, it's very difficult to hit him cleanly.
Again, Roy Francis admonishing Junior Witter. The back of Witter's trunks, as mentioned, reads the hitter, but in round 1 he was the runner, circling but throwing very few punches.
You can see that Witter has quick reflexes, which allows him to get out of the way of some of Zab's punches. But his counter, although that was a great counter.
Good left hand by Witter that scored, and then he is just throwing, flailing wildly, and goes down to one knee as he slipped. Very reckless by Junior Witter here, with a little smirk on his face as well. And Junior Witter would like to continue what he was doing before, but Zab Judah looking to wipe that smirk off Witter's face.
But to his credit, I think he's confused Zab just a little bit, and Zab doesn't know what angle the punch is going to come from, which makes him, again, effective in his awkwardness.
I'm sure Zab Judah has never fought anybody quite like this. It's like a circus act. Little counter punch there by Junior Witter, but very soft. He only has 4 knockouts, as mentioned, in his 15 wins. Judah 22-0 with 17 knockouts, 1 no contest.
Well, you can see why, too. He's always either on balance or off balance, but he's not really planted. Even when he's on balance and he's moving, he's just not planted. You cannot get power in your punches without planting your feet and turning your body in.
Witter's been down only 1 time in his 5th fight against Andreas Panayi, a Greek, in '97, came back to win in the 5th.
There was an incredibly wicked left uppercut thrown by Witter that just grazed the tip of the nose of Zab Judah.
But one of these times it's going to be one of these wild swings and misses, and Judah is going to counter. Witter keeps letting himself wide open after many of those wild swings and misses.
You know, if you notice, Zab Judah now is dropping both his hands and walking around with the same type of hands-down antics as Witter, and that's not necessarily his fight. He's better off keep his hands up work.
Again, a wild miss with a left hand by Witter, but Judah couldn't counter. Now, Judah's got some carnival in him as well, that's for sure.
No question about it.
But his punches a lot more effective. Again, Witter's hands down really low, very dangerous as round 2 ends.
Come on, you're giving him plenty of hustle.